Simple act of kindness, one that might have gone unnoticed had it not been for what happened immediately afterwards. It involves a San Diego police officer, a Marine combat veteran who had done several tours of duty overseas. As it turned out, it was far more dangerous to be back at home. But nobody knew that when the officer met a young man at a local McDonald's. That's where our own Lee Cowan picks up this story.
Rarely do surveillance cameras capture the good in people. But on this day at this San Diego McDonald's, for that police officer, they caught a life's final decent act.
There's an officer shot. There's an officer shot.
Just after leaving that McDonald's, Officer Jeremy Henwood was gunned down, just sitting in his patrol car. A crime made even more incomprehensible by the fact he had just returned from Afghanistan and served 2 tours in Iraq as a U.S. Marine.
I think it goes without saying that Jeremy was a great man and a hero to our country.
Thousands turned out for his memorial service, where there were tales of his bravery and chivalry. But it was the last thing he ever did that summed up the way he lived.
3 minutes before he was killed, he's buying lunch for some little kid he didn't even know.
That little kid was 13-year-old Davian Tinsley, standing behind Officer Henwood in line at that McDonald's, short by comparison, and also a little short on change.
I asked him for 10 cents, and he said, "What's 10 cents for?" And I said, 3 cookies. And he said, "Well, I could buy the 3 cookies for you."
He opened his wallet and his heart to a kid he'd never met.
He said, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I said, "NBA star." And then he said, "Well, you got to work hard for that." And I said, "Thank you."
With that, Officer Henwood walked out. It was the last conversation he ever had. That brief encounter has changed the way Davian now looks at life.
Somebody I met that was a good guy, and then 2 seconds later he dies. It's just crazy.
Without knowing it, Officer Henwood had taught a sobering lesson to a boy and the rest of us. Kindness can go a long way, but life